Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what people say about you after seeing you. So I'm going to show you crystals for each pile, but please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates and leave the rest. So for your piles, we have Amazonite for pile 1. And we have the Ethereal Visions Tarot. For pile 2, we have Orange Calcite. And we have the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. And for pile 3, we have this Rose Quartz Heart. And we have the Queer Tarot. I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Pick whichever pile you're most drawn to, the one that is calling out to your soul the most, and that will be your pile for today. But of course, if you're drawn to more than one pile, always trust your intuition. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number ones. If you chose this Amazonite crystal, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what people say about you after seeing you. So you chose the Ethereal Visions Tarot. I'm going to first go ahead and pull some oracle cards on camera, and then I'm going to use the tarot deck that you chose. Please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. And please also note what people say may not necessarily be true. Okay, so we're going to start out with the Shadows and Light Oracle deck to get a little bit of balanced duality here. So Spirit Guides of my pile 1, may I please look into what people say about my pile number 1s after seeing them. We have Strange Valentine with Love is Strange. I love this card. We have an extra oracle card here with the Candy Cane Angel. It's time for a treat. So the funny thing is we're using these shadow oracle cards, but we get such sweet cards for you because we have a Valentine card here, but also Candy Cane Angel. So let's see what else shows up with our other oracle cards. Okay, so Spirit Guides on my pile 1s. May I please look into what people say about them after seeing them? We have Re-Energize. And we have Dreaming. At the back of the deck, we have Breaking Free. So I think I mentioned it, but I'm not sure. This is the Mermaid Oracle that I just used, and now I'm going to be using the Starseed Oracle deck. So Spirit Guides of Pile 1, what people say about them after seeing them. We have the Void with Stop, Embrace Winter, Great Cosmic Womb. At the back of the deck, we have Earth Pulsing with Pulse of the Mother, Slow Down Time in Nature. I'm now going to add these small little oracle cards. This is the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. So Spirit Guides of Pile 1. What do people say about my Pile 1s after seeing them? So we have Blossoming with You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. One more card, please, for what people say after seeing them. We have Inner Wisdom with You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. It is 8:18 on the clock for those of you that have maybe seen this angel number. We have Mother Earth at the back of the deck. Okay, so now we're going to use this small Vanessa tarot deck. And then when I'm done with all these cards, I'm going to explain them. And then after that, I will pull your tarot cards. So what do people say after seeing my pile ones? We have the Lovers, along with Strange Valentine. Is that not a synchronicity? Oh, we have an extra card behind it. The Six of Swords. And at the back of the deck, we have the Hermit. Okay, so the first obvious thing I see here is people saying after they see you that you're very, very cute. That you have these cute features on your face. Some of you have really big, cute eyes because I'm looking at this person here and their eyes just look so cute. Like I want to, squeeze them so hard. Like I don't know how to explain it, but maybe that's how people talk about you. Like you just have this cute face, like they want to squeeze you. Cuteness overload. But you could also have this very dreamy type of ethereal look to you because we have the dreaming card, but also the ethereal visions tarot. So you could have that very ethereal kind of dreamy beauty to you, but also cuteness. And that's what people say after seeing you. And as I look at this candy cane angel, I'm hearing a song for you. So I'm hearing the song Sweet, I Thought You Wanted to Dance by Tyler, the Creator. And basically in the song, he's basically saying they should call you sugar, you're so sweet. They should call you sugar because you're so sweet to me. And he basically goes on in the song and says, like, if you left me stranded, I would never leave you. The love I have for you, blah, 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 blah. I guess he's just crazy over the person he's speaking about. And he kind of says, I wanted to dance with you, something like that. So after that, he also speaks about what makes you think I'm not in love. So if the song is saying they should call you sugar because you're so sweet, I feel like that is the vibe you give off to others, and that's often what people say about you when you leave, that you're just very sweet like sugar, like they want to just eat you up, not in a weird or sexual way, just like you're very, very sweet. I'd love to have you around more. And I feel with this Strange Valentine, Love is Strange, when you drink hot chocolate and you get like this warm feeling inside and then you eat marshmallows, I feel like people get that warm feeling inside after being with you, even if they don't necessarily know you. That's why I feel the Strange Valentine here is with Love is Strange, because when you just meet someone and it's a little bit weird to have feelings for them, or it's a little bit weird to feel something so strongly for them. That is the feeling I get here. This is like about strangers, where when they see you, they feel such a strong, I wouldn't say love, but this type of attraction. But not only just attraction in terms of romantic. I feel like often people want to be your friend, strangers, and they'll feel like this warm, fuzzy feeling on the inside, and they can't quite explain it or understand it. So that's why the card Love is Strange is here. And I'm looking at her cheeks here. They're so rosy. So maybe people say that you have really rosy cheeks. I also found myself playing with my hair now. I don't know why. Maybe some of you do that and some people find it cute. Because sometimes when I connect to people, I take on certain habits that they do, or you get what I mean when I'm getting into the energy. So I feel that very strongly, and I feel like often people want to be your friend, they want to be your lover, they want to take you out on a date, and there's this sort of feeling of them wanting to keep you by their side. As I'm looking at the candy cane angel, Spirit is showing me, what is that movie or that children's story about, like, is it Hansel and Gretel, I think? Where they go to that house full of sweets and they want to eat it all up. I feel like you're that house of sweets to people. Like everyone wants you around because of your sweetness, because you're so cute. Um, and it's not just your cuteness and your sweetness. I also feel like it's your vibe. It makes people feel warm inside and love. It makes people feel full of love like it's Valentine's Day. And I think when people talk about you, there's a sense of them wanting you like that house full of sweets. It's like, I want it, but maybe I can't have it, or I want it, but maybe I can't have it all at once. You get what I mean? And I just see a lot of people saying, like, I would love to take my pal ones out on a date. I'd treat them so good. I'd love them so good. Like, they are the feeling of like marriage material because we see this lover's card getting married. So people often will say that you are marriage material, especially if they're very attracted to you and be like, yeah, I want to go out with my pal number ones. Do you think they'd go out with me? That type of feeling. And often I'm looking at this fairy in the background. Often maybe their friend will be like, yes, yes, you should. I'll be like your wingman or your wingwoman. Like that type of feeling I'm getting from that card. So it's a very cute energy, and often people say that they feel very energized and uplifted after speaking to you because with the void here, stop, embrace, winter, great cosmic womb, I feel like you have this energy to you when people are going through changes or transitions in their life with the Six of Swords. Um, and the inner wisdom card, it's like you just know the right things to say to uplift them. Because I feel like you've also been in a stage of your own journey where you've been trusting your own intuition more, where you have been embracing even the sad feelings. Because when we embrace that all spectrum of feelings, we can really learn from them. We can really grow from them, like this blossoming card. And yeah, I feel like you just have this uplifting energy towards people and you just know the right things to say to them. And that's something they say after they see you that, maybe they were feeling really low, really sad about the things they're going through, or maybe they're going through this huge change in their life and they just need a little bit of that grounding energy. And I feel like people say that, even though maybe you're a stranger or they don't quite know you, somehow they trust the words you say. Somehow you make them feel safe in that void space, because it's like in that space is where they're feeling really intense feelings, but somehow they see the way you've blossomed and bloomed in your own life and healed yourself, or been there for yourself, or maybe you've told them about things. And there's this feeling of like, I feel safe around this person, I can trust them. Um, and I don't think many people can honestly say that about strangers, like, I feel safe, I can trust this person. So often people just talk about you in this really sweet way. I also feel like maybe some of you are quite introverted, and people will say that, but not in a bad way, more so like this energy of, oh, I think we should invite Pal One next time to this thing because, I'd love to get to know them more. Blah, 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 blah. I'd love to speak to them more. I'd love to open up to them, have them as a friend, as a lover, get to know them, that type of energy. I feel like you have a very similar energy to Mother Earth, very grounding, um, very serene and beautiful, because I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of Mother Earth online. She's so beautiful. And she has that energy of creation. Some of you are creative, or you are in that energy of creating your reality. And that may be a theme of what people say about you, that you're busy becoming the best version of yourself, and they can see that. This is people that know you, or people that you have spoken to about your life journey. And I just feel this sense of proudness, especially coming from people that know you. Like, oh my gosh, my pal ones have grown so much. They've healed so much. They've changed so much for the better. And They've trusted their intuition, like that's that sense of pride for you. That's beautiful. I feel like sometimes you allow people to just slow down and breathe and not worry about what's next, what's to come, and just be in the moment, in the present moment. And I'm seeing some people talk about you being with their pets. Like if you've ever been to someone's house and you've played with their pets, somehow their pets really like you. That's something I see. And I think you have a pretty healing energy since you chose the Amazonite crystal. And I'm looking at this card. She's in the dark depths of the water. But I feel like you act like a light to those in darkness, if that makes sense. So spirit guides of pile 1. What do people say about my pile 1s after seeing them? We have the Hermit. So yeah, that introverted energy, but maybe also this kind of energy of like you've been on your healing journey for a while now. You've been improving yourself. You've been in hermit mode. You've just been taking care of you and watering you so you can bloom. Okay, and I feel like since this hermit card is holding up this light, and we see, you chose the tarot card that is gold and white. I feel like you have that energy. Looking at these cards here, we have quite dark cards, even though I chose the mermaid deck. It's quite light in the other cards, and this one is quite light as well. This is just one dark card. But I see it as when people are in darkness, it's like you're that light to them. You're that star to them, that light, that lighthouse, guiding them through the darkness, through the pain, through what they've been through. And I feel like people often say that you have this very calming, soothing, serene presence with the Queen of Cups, and you just make them feel at peace when they're around you. And I think people often say about you that you're very compassionate, very kind, loving, a good listener, and you give really great advice. I think people also, I'm getting that ethereal vibe again, mermaidy vibe with this Queen of Cups. Like maybe you even have this fairy mermaidy type of vibe to you, like this mystical type of vibe that people talk about that they can't quite put their finger on, but they see it and feel it. And that's something I see here. And I feel like if some of you have worn pastel colors, or if you like wearing pink or blue, that's something people talk about, that you look really cute in it. And I don't know why, but these fishes are really standing out to me in the background. Do one of you have like a fish tattoo? Like, I'm just taking a guess. Okay, one of you maybe. But also this hermit card, I'm noticing a key here and a skull here. So you have this energy to you around death and rebirth, but opening a door to the light, to love. Do you get what I mean? I just feel like people talk about you in the sense where you help them find closure, you help them find themselves, you help them understand their emotions better. It's like you bring a key to them, to the other side of the key that they've been looking for all their life. Do you get, or not all their life, but like maybe for a while. You get what I mean? That's the kind of feeling I get. Often people will talk about you as if you're a guide to them. And there is this immense amount of trust they put into you after seeing you. Because I feel like they just talk about how good advice you give them. We have the World card. So people often talk about how you've ended major cycles in your life, or how you've walked away from things that aren't, good for you anymore. How you've ended things in your life and you're not afraid to end things and move forward. And that's the feeling I get here. But people may have also spoken about your achievements, how you've grown as a person. And I feel like this may be people that know you a lot better, that have seen your growth, where they speak about how you've grown. Like, oh, my pile number ones, they were at this point last year, and now that they're at this point, like, look at them, I'm so proud of them. Like, I feel friendship vibes here. So of course I may be wrong, it could also be family, but I'm feeling a lot of friendship energies, like people being proud of you and speaking about you in that way. We have the Chariot card, so people talk about you moving forward and shifting your energy. I feel like you've gone through a lot of internal changes in yourself, but also your life. We have the Artist. You've been creating your reality like the artist, painting your reality the way you want it to be. Maybe they don't speak about it in this way or this sense, but it's like, let me give an example of this energy. Let's say you were working at a job you didn't like. We see an artist here, so I'll just use this as an example to explain the energy. It doesn't have to resonate for everyone. But let's say they're like, oh, my pile number ones, they were working at this job, this 9 to 5 job last year, but now they traveled with the Chariot card and they moved overseas and they started following their dreams to become an artist, and now they've really grown. Like, can you believe it? They've inspired me so much. Like, that type of energy is what I hear people talk about you after seeing you. We have the Empress card, so you have this very Venusian energy with the mermaidy energy. It's like this kind of come to me type of vibe. But I also feel with the Empress here, it's sort of this Mother Earth energy of creation as well. Like, you make people feel like they can just slow down. And that's what I feel here. But I also feel this energy where it's like this alluring energy, but in a sweet way. Like a sweet mermaid singing and singing "Come to Me," and we're gonna play mermaids in the ocean together. Like, that's the type of feeling I get from you that people can't quite describe, but it's like they're just very drawn to you after seeing you, especially strangers. And I think a lot of people just say that they really love your vibe, that they think you're really beautiful or attractive or handsome. But they just love your vibe. You give off so much loving energy and you just make people feel at peace. That's what I feel here. And also how you've grown, how you've expanded. I think some people talk about how you've been loving yourself more. You've been on your self-love journey for some of you, and they've seen you on your self-love journey and they find inspiration from that and they talk about it in a good way. Or that you've started realizing your worth as well. Maybe even started becoming more abundant with the Empress. Okay, so what do people say after seeing pile 1? We have the Page of Pentacles. People often study you, but not in a bad or manipulative way. More so this type of energy of, who is pile 1? I want to understand them. I want to get them. Who are they? What do they like? What do they dislike? That type of energy. And people will often ask questions about you after seeing you. That's something I see here. Oh, like, what do they do? What music do they like? Things like that. Like, I feel a lot of people just have this intrigue about you. Maybe some of you are quite mysterious, or maybe I'm hearing some of you are shy or quiet in front of strangers, or you don't speak so much in front of people that you not really enjoy talking to, but I feel like people have this sort of intrigue and ask questions about you rather than speak about you in the sense of the Page of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Wands. So you have this very magnetic energy, but also this, you've been growing in your confidence, your independence, and that's what people say after seeing you. That you've just started carrying yourself with this class, with this confidence, and they can really see it growing on you. And you've started to also become more independent, more in this energy of like, I know my worth. I know who I am. No one's gonna shake that. And like the cat here, you're always gonna land on your feet. even in times of challenges. That's the feeling I get of like what people say, that you somehow always make it through. That's the feeling I get. And I feel it's because of this intuition. We have the Ace of Cups and we see this lotus flower here. So people often talk about how, they want to start new connections with you with the Ace of Cups. How they feel you have this very calming yet healing presence. Um, and often people will say, I want to be pile one's friend. I want to be pile one's lover. Like, that's the feeling I get from you. And because we have the Nine of Cups at the back, I feel like you are a lot of people's wish come true. Because the Nine of Cups talks about wish fulfillment. So you may have a lot of traits or qualities people wish to have in a partner and a friend, and that's what I feel here. But people often talk about how you've grown and how you've been on your healing journey, and that's something I see here. So this is what I see in your reading about what people say after seeing you, my pile ones. I really hope this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this orange calcite crystal and the sacred Sisterhood tarot, this reading is for you. We're going to be taking a look at what people say about you after seeing you. So please be aware this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. And please also note what people say may not necessarily be true. So I'm going to first go ahead and pull some oracle cards on camera. And then I'm going to use the tarot deck that you chose after that. So to get some energies of duality here, I'm going to first start out with the Shadows and Light Oracle deck. So Spirit Guides are pile 2. May we please look into what people say about my pile 2s after seeing them? We have Amara the Menahune. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, with Aloha Healing. This is such a beautiful card for you. At the back of the deck, we have Winged Seer with You See Clearly Clairvoyance. Okay, and now we're going to be using the Wisdom of the Avalon Oracle deck. So Spirit Guides on my pile 2s. May I please look into what people say after seeing my pile 2s? What people say about them after seeing them. We have the Deer with Gentleness and Diplomacy. This is such a beautiful card. And the funny thing is, similar to pile 1, I'm using a Shadow and Light Oracle deck so that I can get duality here, because sometimes people comment and they're like, I only see good things here, but I'm literally using a Shadow Oracle deck and I'm only seeing good things here. So people may only speak good things about you because you have this energy to you of gentleness, okay? Okay, so now we're going to use the Priestess of Light Oracle deck. So Spirit Guides on my pile 2. What do people say about my pile 2 after seeing them? We have Idyllic Times with the Garden and Paradise. This is a very beautiful card. And at the back of the deck, we have Harvest, Gathering of Blessings. Okay, so now I'm going to use this small little tarot deck as an oracle deck. This is the Wildwood Tarot. So what do people say about my pile 2s after seeing them? We have the King of Wands with the Adder. We have the Nine of Cups with Generosity. We have the Balance card, which is the Justice card if I'm not mistaken, but I will just make sure. Okay, no, this is actually the Temperance card. I don't know what I was thinking. So can I have one more card, please, Spirit Guides, for anything people say about my pile 2s after seeing them? We have the Page of Wands with the Stout. Ooh, at the back of the deck we have Protection. So you know how I was speaking about like how people comment, we want to see the bad things as well. With this protection card, I'm kind of getting the vibe that often, people may speak about you in a negative sense, like if they do ever, but you're very protected that something will often happen to them that will make them not ever speak about you in that sense ever again. Do you get what I mean? So the feeling I'm getting is like, let's say someone says something mean about you behind your back. I feel most of you have either passed on loved ones or strong spirit guides around you protecting you that are making sure nobody says anything mean about you. And then let's just say they start biting their tongue all of a sudden while they're speaking about something rude about you, or they just stub their toe all of a sudden after that. It's like they get instant karma, and that's why people will often not speak about you in that sense because you're very protected. And I also feel like this is my intuitive pile, so when people do speak about you in that sense, it's like they may refrain from doing so because they may know that you're intuitive. There's this type of feeling of like, maybe sometimes people get tempted to do so, because I'm looking at these snakes here. Sometimes they get tempted to speak about you in that sense. Like people that don't have your best interest in mind, but then I'm feeling this sort of back off energy you have around you. Not that you give off that energy, it's your protection. So it's this type of feeling of like, should I really say this about part two? Because what if they are gonna dream about me saying this? Should I really say this about pile two because they have a lot of good friends that may snitch on me? Should I really say this about pile two because what if they just know? What if they can read my mind? Like that type of feeling if people know you're intuitive. Or even if they don't know, even if you haven't told them, I feel like people often see you're intuitive because there's this type of feeling of you speaking about certain things and maybe not having any way of knowing that about them, but you just know. And I feel like you have this type of vibe around you that you kind of see through people. When you look at a person, you look at them really deeply and you kind of see through them. So that's the vibe I'm picking up from you. So, yeah. Anyways, um, what people say about you after seeing you is I feel this sense of healing energy from you with the Aloha Healing card. And people will often talk about you as if you have this very angelic presence with the Paradise card. But also, you chose the orange calcite crystal. It's not just this angelic, healing, calming, serene presence, it's also this sense of happiness and joy you bring people around you. Like, as I'm looking at this crystal, it's very orange. It makes me want to eat it. Like, those oranges. I feel like, you sort of give me that vibe of like sunshine energy that you give people. So people often say that you have this angelic vibe. You're like an angel, sweet like an angel. You couldn't do anything wrong to anyone. Um, like you're just very gentle and sweet. And I feel like people often see you as someone like a pure soul. You wouldn't do anything wrong to anyone. And as I'm looking at this Aloha Healing card, it looks like tears are pouring down her face. So people may speak about you in the sense of, like, let's say, for example, they do go to that gossip energy and people defend you and they're like, no, don't say that about Pile 2. You don't even know Pile 2. Why are you judging them? Or, this kind of energy of like, Pile 2 has been through so much. Like, don't hurt them, like that type of energy. So I see people are often protective over you because you're like this gentle deer, um this angelic person that is just so sweet. that wouldn't do anything wrong. That's a type of feeling people get from you and how they speak about you, because there's this sense of like you having this calming, serene presence like this waterfall here. And you're really balanced and kind and patient to everyone with the balance, just not justice, temperance card. Why do I keep thinking of justice? So with justice, maybe people think that you're someone really honest, and that's what people say about you, like you're really honest. They see you as a person that is genuine, that wouldn't lie to anyone. They see you as a person that is fair and balanced, okay? And you wouldn't do anything unfair to anyone. And I think this is like majority of what people say about you after seeing you. Like you're just very sweet, you're very loving, very angelic. Like that type of energy, but you also have this type of playful vibe to you with the Page of Wands here. This playful type of sunshine vibe to you that you bring people. And I think people often speak about you in the sense where you have this kind of childlike wonder to you, and you see the world through this set of eyes that is very bright. It's like you almost see the world through the eyes of a child. And it's not bad, because when we look at how, when we were as like a child, we'd have so much imagination, so much creativity, we'd see the world with color. And I feel like you give off that vibe to people, and that's what people talk about after seeing you, that you're just very playful and fun to be around, but also that you're very generous. And the Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment. So a lot of people wish to have you as their friend, as their lover, or they wish to have certain traits that you do, and or certain kind of qualities you give off. They wish to grow to be more like you, if that makes sense. And that's what people say after seeing you. Or that they have certain qualities they want in a partner or friend, and you meet those qualities, and you're sort of like a wish fulfillment to them. And that's something I see here. And with the King of Wands showing up, I feel this energy of people talking about you as this very passionate yet powerful person, because we also see these dragons here and these snakes. So the snake is a representation of transformation, and the dragon is a symbol of power and strength. You have this gentle yet powerful side to you that is very contradictory but beautiful at the same time. And I don't think it's like that people can quite explain it, but there's this sense of like pile two are gentle but powerful at the same time. They're sensitive, yet their sensitivity is their power. Maybe they don't say it in that way, but you give off this type of vibe, like bubbles almost, or at least that's what they say. You know, when you see Bubbles, and then she has from Powerpuff Girls, and she has that little doll in her hand, and she's like, "Don't mess with me," kind of vibe. I feel like that's how people talk about you. Like, I wouldn't want to mess with Pal 2, but they're so gentle and cute at the same time. Do you get what I mean? And with the dragon, I do feel you have this powerful side to you that is to come out right now, or is about to come out, or is coming out right now within you. You're finding your own sense of power as you transform yourself and as you are on your healing journey. And I think a lot of people talk about your healing journey, and with the butterfly here as well, symbol of transformation, two symbols of transformation. How you've transformed yourself, how you've healed your emotions, how you've balanced yourself out. People often talk about you as their sense of inspiration, in terms of how you've grown, how you've transformed, not only yourself, but your life around you. It's like you see life through this hopeful set of eyes that is like, I can create a paradise on earth, or at least my paradise that I want to live in, and I believe it's true. And even with this rainbow here and the waterfall and the sense of Hawaii here, it kind of reminds me of like this energy of like, life is a playground, we're here to have fun kind of energy. So I guess people talk about you in a very light-hearted way when they talk about you after seeing you, but they also talk about how you've grown, how you've transformed, and they talk about you in this very inspiring way. So that's something I see here. So I'm now going to pull some tarot cards and see what else shows up for you. So, spirit guides of my pile twos, may I please look into what people say about them after seeing them? We have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, you have this very comforting vibe. This card kind of reminds me of how I am with my sister. When I was younger, she used to come to me and cry to me. I feel like you have this very motherly vibe to people, very nurturing, and that's what people say about you after seeing you. Like, they just feel very comforted by you. Um, Regardless of your gender, there's this nurturing vibe you give off to people, and they often feel very soothed by your presence. Like you have this healing energy, yet playfulness to you. And I feel like if you were crying, if someone was crying, you'd be that type of friend that would comfort them and then maybe make a joke and make them laugh, and they'd be like, why are you making me laugh? I want to cry. Like that type of energy. I'm feeling that for some of you. Um, and people will often talk about you in a high sense. There's a lot of respect here people give you when you leave, and they often talk about you in that sense. We have the Justice card. So I was talking about justice, so it's interesting that it came out. Um, like I said, people speak about you in a very honest yet respectful way. And they will speak about you and say that you're someone that stands up for others around you. You may be that type of person where you, like, let's say, for example, maybe when you were in school, if you saw someone sitting alone, you may sit next to them and eat with them. Or you may be a person that wants justice, that wants fairness and honesty in the world, and you may be that type of person that stands up for others or fights for causes that are unfair or unjust in the world, and you will often talk about that, and people really like that about you. So that's something I'm seeing for some of you. We have the Two of Cups. So I'm feeling like a lot of people just have a lot of love for you, not even just in a romantic sense, but even in a friendship sense. A lot of people will just have this deep love for you and talk about you in a very loving way after you leave. And after seeing you, it's almost like I'm looking at this card and how deeply they're looking into each other's eyes, and there's this heart above their head. I feel like they don't say much after seeing you, but they feel it. Do you get what I mean? It's like this type of vibe. Like, let's say if I was to go out on a friendship date with you, I would go home and I would feel all happy and warm and fuzzy inside. And I wouldn't necessarily talk, but I'd feel happy on the inside. I'd feel love. And it's not just romantic love, it's also friendship love. Um, all types of love people feel towards you after seeing you. And there's a sense of I don't necessarily have to voice how I feel, I'm just feeling it, enjoying this feeling. So that's really beautiful. We have the Page of Cups. So, yes, people often talk about you and maybe the playful memories you had that day together after seeing them. So, like, let's say you did something really fun. They'll talk about you and be like, oh, yeah, my pal twos and I went shopping today. It was so fun. I got this. Do you like what I got? Like, this is so cool. And we went to eat this and it was so fun. And they said this thing and it made me laugh, like that type of vibe. Or, oh, me and my pal twos, we went on a roller coaster ride together and it was so fun. Like, we were just laughing the whole time. Pal twos are so funny, they're so playful. I just love being around them. Like, that type of energy is what I feel. People talk about you after seeing you. We have the Page of Wands, so many page cards. Okay, some of you may be creative. and people talk about your creativity. Like, I guess creativity can be different for everyone. Creativity can be baking, cooking. Creativity can be art. Creativity can be music. Creativity can be even just like listening to music in the car together and singing and having fun. Like that's the type of vibe I get from you, and I'm feeling like a lot of friendship vibes and like friends that talk about you, but maybe also lovers, um, or romantic interests or crushes, talking about how they have a crush on you or how they, uh, feel some type of love for you and this playful energy. Yeah, that's the vibe I get from you. So we have the strength card. So people will often talk about how strong and resilient you are, and there's this sense of like, don't hurt my pile twos. They're strong, they're resilient, they're powerful in their own way, but don't hurt them. I feel this sense of protectiveness people have over you, especially when, someone new comes along. Like, let's say a new friend comes along in the friendship group, and there's this sense of do not hurt my pal two's like protectiveness. So I think you have a lot of loyal people around you, in the sense of friends, but also lovers and crushes and things like that. I think people will sometimes often talk about you as if they're attracted to you, if they have a crush on you. Um, and I just keep seeing this motherly, nurturing vibe and presence that people love about you and talk about. We have the Two of Wands. So people often talk about you and talk about the sense of you seeing the world with hope and courage. And seeing the world as your oyster. It's like if I want to do this, I can do this. If I want to do anything, I can do it. Like that type of vibe. People talk about you in the sense of you having a belief in being able to transform and change a situation regardless of the current circumstances, and make a choice to do that for yourself. So let me give an example of this energy. Let's say you want to date a person, but then like that person kind of lives far, and maybe you're talking to a friend about it, and you're like, oh, well, I don't mind. I can move there for them. They can move here for me. Like, we can make it work. And maybe other people will be like, long distance relationships don't work. But you will have that sort of belief, like, yes, I can transform this situation. I can manifest it the way I want. Maybe they wouldn't use the word manifest, but believe like the world is your oyster. And people will often talk about you in that sense, like, you make them start to believe in themselves too, and I think that's really powerful. We have the Seven of Pentacles, so I feel this is maybe work colleagues or people that have seen you work towards what you want in your own life, your goals, your career, your finances, things like that. And they will often say that you worked really hard to get to where you are right now, that you're currently in that stage of harvesting. The Seven of Pentacles is usually about working hard, but in this case, we see this person is able to rest because they've already worked hard enough where their grapes are growing here. So I see that as harvest and good luck. Some people may say that you're very lucky, yet others will see the hard work you've put in into the harvest you are now receiving, and they'll be like, yeah, my pile two's really worked hard for that. They're now enjoying their successes, and that's something people talk about. We have the Nine of Cups again. So there is this energy of like, I wish to have pile two as my friend. I wish to have pile two as my lover. um, and people often talk about how you've grown with the Lotus here, how you've healed yourself, and use your story as an inspiration For example, let's say they're talking to a friend you don't know, and their friend is going through something similar you've gone through before. They will talk about you and how you have transformed yourself and how you grew from that tough situation and still had hope and you got out of it. And they'll use your story as inspiration, and that's something I see here as well. People will also talk about you in a sense where you have this very supportive energy towards them and they love that about you. And then lastly, we have the Eight of Swords. And we have the Six of Wands. So, yeah, like I get this vibe that you were maybe once at a point where you felt really stuck in your own life, really stuck in certain situations, but you somehow got yourself out of those situations and created success for yourself. And I feel like people often talk about that. There's this inspiration, this respect coming through from people, and it's like they celebrate your wins. And I'm seeing that very strongly, like this type of vibe of, oh, my pal twos, they started out, I'm hearing that song started from the bottom, now we're here. I think that perfectly sums out the energy I'm seeing. I feel like you have grown in a very powerful way. And I think a lot of people talk about that after seeing you. So this is what I see in your reading, my pile twos. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye! Hi there, my pile number threes. If you chose this rose quartz crystal, this reading is for you, along with the queer tarot deck. We're going to be taking a look at what people say about you after seeing you. So I'm first going to go ahead and pull some oracle cards on camera, and then I'm going to use the tarot deck that you chose. And before I get into it, just note this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. And also please note what people say about you may not necessarily be true. So just for some duality, I'm going to start out with the Shadows and Lights Oracle deck. So Spirit Guides of my pile threes, Spirit Guides of my pile threes, may I please look into what people say about my pile threes after seeing them. We have the Lantern Fairy with a clear solution. And at the back of the deck, we have a Clockwork Pumpkin with a wonderful idea, the aha moment. Very interesting. So what's really interesting in all three piles, I tried to just use the shadow deck to get some duality because, yeah, I don't want to just talk about good things, but in all three piles, I'm seeing no negative cards are literally coming out. So people very much talk about you in a highly respected way. So for my pile threes, Spirit Guides on my pile threes, what do people say about my pile threes after seeing them? We have 3 cards wanting to come out here. So we have shame. We have rage. And we have creativity. So these are not bad cards. I'm going to try look at it in a very non-biased way. At the back of the deck, we have Celestial Alignment. Okay, so Spirit Guides on my pile threes. May I please look into what people say about my pile threes after seeing them? We have the root chakra with ground and center. So this is the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck, and at the back of the deck we have Either with the Seamless Unspeakable. And now I'm going to use this small little oracle deck, which is the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. So Spirit Guides of pile 3, what do people say about my pile 3s after seeing them? We have compassion with release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. And we have receptivity with allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. At the back of the deck, we have go outside. With you have been indoors for too long, go outside and get some fresh air. And now I'm going to use these small little tarot cards, the Vanessa Tarot, as little oracle cards. So spirit guides on my pile threes. What do people say about my pile threes after seeing them? We have the Six of Coins, which is the Six of Pentacles. What do people say about my pile threes after seeing them? We have the Four of Swords. And at the back of the deck, we have the Five of Wands. Very interesting. Okay, so I first want to address the Shame card and the Five of Wands that we saw at the back of the deck. I feel like what people say about you after seeing you is this kind of feeling of maybe... I feel like you've been hurt before in the past by certain people that have tried to project, their own insecurities onto you. And I feel like your close friends or the people that are closest to you know this. And there's a sense of them having compassion for you. It's not speaking about it in a bad way. So the feeling I get here is like, since we see her having like these peacock feathers on the top of her head and all the sacral chakra energy here, I feel this energy that perhaps some of you have like an anger towards the people that have projected onto you, that have made you feel shameful for maybe the way you look, that have made you feel like not so good about yourself. And there's this sense of you just needing to feel safe around the people you're with the root chakra. It's like you need to feel safe with the people around you. They need to make you feel safe in order for you to receive their love. And I'm also seeing the sense of safety with the Four of Swords. I feel like people, especially your friends, often talk about you in a sense that is like, do not hurt my pile threes because they're sweet souls. Like, do not come near them with negative energy, like that type of vibe. But also the sense of, like, maybe someone will say, okay, I saw pile three and they looked a little bit uncomfortable. Did I do something to make them uncomfortable? And then maybe like a friend would be like, no, I don't think you did anything to make them uncomfortable. They're just healing from something. They're going through something and healing from something of their own. So don't take it personal, like that type of energy. And the feeling I get here is with the peacock feathers, like I said before, the peacock is a animal that really stands out. It has all its colorful feathers and it really stands out. And the sacral chakra is about confidence in ourself, our sensuality, that divine feminine energy. Of course, not relating to gender, but divine feminine energy and our self-expression, as well as creativity, somewhat. So there is this feeling of maybe people looking at you and saying like, pile threes are so beautiful, they're so attractive, they really stand out. Like, I don't understand maybe why. Like, let's say, for example, you are at a friend's house and they invite another friend over and you're like all getting ready. Spirit is showing me the scene from Mean Girls where they're all like criticizing themselves in the mirror and they're like, oh, I hate this about myself. I hate this about myself. Like, let's say something like that as an example. And then the friend would say later on, I don't understand why pile three would even be insecure about that because they're so beautiful. They're so attractive. They're so handsome. That is the feeling I get here with the shame card. Like, it's not in a mean way, it's in a compassionate way. Like, they're so beautiful. I wish they could see that about themselves too. But I also have compassion and understanding because I know what it's like to be projected on by others, where they make you see insecurities in yourself that are not necessarily true. I feel like you've had a lot of people, be jealous of you, be in competition with you. So I feel like maybe sometimes you've made yourself small or dimmed your light to fit in with others. And I feel this is the message here, to not dim your light anymore, to look at your insecurities differently, to look at them as the most beautiful thing on earth. And I know it's easier said than done, but is there a way you can look at it in a different way or perception? Is there a way you can see your light and see how much you shine and see how much you stand out, just like the peacock with all its colorful feathers? Is there a way you can maybe point out the things you love about yourself instead of the things you don't? Okay. But I feel like people perhaps say it like that, not in a mean way, but like, I wish pile 3 saw this about themselves. I wish pile 3 saw how beautiful they are, how much they stand out, how much people just stare at them wherever they go. That type of feeling. Okay? And I feel like a lot of people talk about you in a very compassionate yet loving way. And they talk about how you really just stand out. And I'm hearing that song, You Don't Know You're Beautiful by One Direction. And there's this sense of maybe people talking about you, if they don't know about this, like, that you're really humble, but you stand out anyways. Like, you don't need to show it to the whole world that you have like that peacock energy of standing out. You just do, but you're really humble anyway. So I feel like that's what certain people say depending on how they know you. And I want to say, I feel like some of you are creative and you are healing and releasing through your creativity. This kind of reminds me of the time I would like drive in my car and drive somewhere really far, like for an hour or two, then put on all the music that makes me just let go of my rage, my anger, and scream all the lyrics, Like, I feel like maybe people talk about your creativity in a sense. I feel like some of you do music or some of you do art where you let out those feelings that are not necessarily comfortable to feel. And people really are like, wow. It also reminds me of my boyfriend's energy because he makes music and he often has that energy to him where he just lets out that side of him. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but when people like make music and it's very much like showing that crazy side of them, and I just love that. I feel like maybe sometimes some of you give off that vibe, like you let out that side of you in your creativity. So I guess that's a message for one or two of you, and I feel a lot of people, if they have seen your creative work, after seeing you, there's a sense of them being very inspired by your creative work. And if you don't relate to that, I could see the creativity as the way you express yourself. You could be really creative in the way you express yourself, the way you dress, the way you have your style or aesthetic. So perhaps a lot of people will talk about your style and aesthetic and talk about you and say, you're really creative with the way you put together these colors and this and this and that. I would have never thought of that. And that they like your style and aesthetic, maybe the way you do your makeup, the way you do your hair. There's this sense of originality and uniqueness with you. and the sense of self-expression that they really enjoy seeing about you. People may even say that you have a beautiful smile after seeing you here. Okay. And with the rage card, I feel like sometimes people may talk about you in a rageful way, because I feel like this is people that are jealous of you, and maybe they will try to shame you for these things. Like, let's say, for example, you wear something and it looks really good and you're at a party, and Spirit is showing me the scene from that Cinderella movie with Hilary Duff, where she's going down the stairs on the prom night or something, and the girl that is always mean to her is like, love the dress, hate her. So I'm seeing this energy where sometimes you are so original and unique and you stand out so much, where sometimes people that are in competition with you or jealous of you will try to, downplay how you look and be like, oh, like, let's say, for example, someone really compliments you when you go home. They're like, I love the outfit my pile threes were wearing. Like, did you see them? Like, oh my gosh, I love their outfit. I love the way they express themselves. They're so unique, so colorful. I feel like you're colorful people, and that's what people say about you, that you're a very vibrant soul and you're meant to stand out and not dim your light. And then maybe someone that is jealous will be like, oh, they didn't look that great. Like, So I feel that energy. But I also feel an energy here with the Lantern Fairy, a clear solution. And the root chakra, ground and center. I feel like you need people around you that make you feel safe, that allow that self-expression to come out, where you can be yourself around them, where there's no criticism, there's no shame, no judgment, where you can just be yourself and receive all the love in the world. And that's what I wanted to say here. You need those types of people around you. But with the Lantern Fairy, a clear solution, I feel like you have this sort of presence where you're very truthful and honest, and you are like this Lantern Fairy that is holding up a light to people in darkness. And certain people, I feel like you're very compassionate. You know how to have compassion towards people. And with the Six of Pentacles, you're very generous with your time, your energy, and your love. And that's what certain people say about you, that they just love your compassionate nature, that you're somehow like this light in the darkness for them. You somehow guide them through really painful or dark situations or through their own insecurities. And I feel like this is friendships and people that are like strangers that know you. Like, you've guided them through really powerful, strong emotions that are uncomfortable to feel, and made them feel safe while doing so by giving them compassion and giving them a lot of your time and energy. But I also feel this energy where you are really truthful and honest, and you're not going to lie to your friends, and you're not going to lie to people. If you see something that is wrong, you're going to be honest and say it. And I feel like some people may not necessarily like that, where you give a clear solution. Let me give an example. Let's say I feel like you are surrounded by a lot of loving people, and you've also been surrounded by a lot of toxic people at the same time that are in competition with you. So anyways, let's say, for example, you have a friend and she is complaining about the same relationship she's been in for 3 years. And let's say this friend, you've told her, I don't think this person's good for you, because they do this and this and this to you, and like, they're not for you. I'm hearing that song, That Boy's a Liar. So he doesn't see that song. So I feel like you'd be very honest and be like, I don't think that person's good for you. I think you should leave them. And I'm not going to keep telling you this because I've told you this like how many different times. You shouldn't ask for my advice if you're not going to take it. Like that type of energy. And I feel like you're very straightforward and honest and truthful. And some people may not like it and they may get angry because of that and talk about you in a negative way because of that. But I don't think that's bad. I think those people are just, some people are just like wanting to vent and talk about their problems but not do anything to change it, and that is their own problem. They're basically just projecting their own anger towards themselves onto you. So that's not something I would worry about, but I just want to make sure I say everything I see here. I think I'm going to go ahead and add some tarot cards. I think I'm done with that, but I think a lot of people talk about you in a high way, in a highly respected way, yet the people that are jealous or in competition with you may try to downplay your achievements or downplay things about you. But I feel a lot of people talk about how compassionate you are, how giving you are, how much of a light you are to others. And they see your light within you that you may not see within yourself. I feel with the receptivity card, since you are so giving and generous, I feel a lot of people talk about you in a really highly respected way, and they will speak about maybe wanting to give back to you. Like, oh, my pile 3 helped me get through this. I want to be there for them next time. They need something because I want to reciprocate that. Or let's say you helped out a friend with money. Let's say next time you need something, they want to help you out too. But also with the 4 of Swords and the root chakra, ground and center, I feel like you often make people around you feel safe and cozy. Like you have this very warm yet vibrant energy, very fun energy too, since you chose the queer tarot deck, like all this fun energy, but yet cozy at the same time and safe. And people often talk about how you make them feel in that sense, like you make them feel uplifted yet safe at the same time and cozy. So let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards. So spirit guides on my pile 3s. And I feel like you're being put into alignment right now, a lot of you, with people that actually do align with you. I'm seeing a lot is being revealed to you right now. I know it's not part of the reading, but I'm seeing a lot is being revealed to you right now about maybe people that don't have your best interest in mind. And you're being put into alignment with those that will actually appreciate your giving nature and your loving nature and the honesty you give and things like that. So that's something I see. And people that are also confident in themselves are meant to be your friend, not people that are, insecure in themselves and try to be in competition with you. Okay, so you're going through some kind of major change, transition right now in your energy. So spirit guides on my pile 3s. What do people say about my pile 3s after seeing them? What do people say about my pile 3s after seeing them? We have the Emperor. Do some of you have tattoos? People may like your tattoos or piercings. We have the 8 of Cups. We have the 6 of Pentacles. What do people say about my pile 3? We have the 3 of Wands. We have the Hierophant. We have the 2 of Cups. I think that's all for now. I'll pull more cards in a moment. At the back of the deck, we have the 4 of Wands. So I feel like since you chose this deck, you're very colorful, vibrant people. And that's what people often talk about after seeing you. Like, I want to be friends with pile threes. Like they're such vibrant, fun people. Like they make me feel like I can be them myself. Like, and often people that are scared of being themselves and scared of being their authentic self in the world, scared of self-expression, will be drawn to you in a sense because you give off this energy, this vibe that allows them to just see life as like a dance floor, like we see here, and just let out that self-expression side of themselves. Um, it's like very freeing, and that's what often people will say about you. Like I feel like if people were to just get to know you, like let's say you go to a party like we see this dance floor here, and maybe a person is not comfortable with dancing and expressing themselves, you'd pull them over to the dance floor and you dance together, and then they'd finally, I'm seeing something like a bubble around them break, where they'd finally let go of that sort of need to watch others and think what are others thinking, and just be free and express themselves. So that's something I'm seeing. Or like let's say you were at a friend's house and you're getting ready together, and maybe they want to wear something and really stand out just like you stand out, and maybe they're scared of standing out too much, or maybe they have this sort of thing of like dimming their light to fit in and to not be seen too much, or to not have jealousy on them. It's like you will somehow give them enough confidence to be able to express themselves and wear what they want to wear, and be like, oh, you look so good in that, you should wear it, you should definitely wear it. Like that type of vibe. People often comment on your fashion style. That's something I see very heavily, and how balanced and honest and trustworthy you are, but also how generous you are, since we have Six of Pentacles showing up twice in your cards. But also you have this very vibrant, celebratory feeling to you. You make people feel like life is fun, and that's what they'll speak about after seeing you. So I feel like with the Hierophant, a lot of people are drawn, since it's next to the Three of Wands, a lot of people are drawn to being in your circle or being on your path to learn lessons from you. And that's something I see. But since you're being put into alignment now with people that are actually going to have your best interest in mind, I feel right now it's going to be good lessons. Maybe in the past you've had people be brought onto your path to learn more of the negative side of lessons if they're on the negative path. I know not everything is in black and white, but that's the feeling I get here. Now it's changing where it's more positive lessons, positive lessons of encouragement. So with the Eight of Cups, people also often talk about how you're not afraid to leave things behind that aren't serving you. Like, I feel if I had to give an example of this, let's say you are an entrepreneur and you're selling something, and they keep asking for a discount, and you're like, no, no, I know my worth. I'm gonna find someone else that wants to buy this. Like that type of energy. Or let's say you're on a date with someone and you get a bad vibe from them, or they're speaking about things and you can see some red flags. You're not afraid to just leave, because I feel like people often talk about that because some people are scared to either be alone, or they accept less than what they know they're worth, or they settle because they know, or because they feel like, what if they don't find anything better? So people will notice that heavily about you, because that's a very unique trait to have, to be able to have faith to walk away from things if you know it's not aligned to you. And that's something I see here. People may also talk about how you've cut out people from your life that are toxic, and you're not going to give them the time or day or attention. So that's something I see. I feel like people talk about your stability, how you're really stable, how you really are transforming yourself with this moth here and creating stability for yourself in your own life. And you've been being more generous to yourself, self-love energy, where you've been focusing on yourself more and your own path more. So that's something I see people talk about after seeing you. These changes you're going through internally, where you're becoming more focused on you and you're becoming more of this energy of like, okay, I give a lot to others, I should give to me too. I give a lot of compassion to others, I should give compassion to me too. That type of energy. So that's something I see people talk about. And with the Two of Cups, I feel a lot of people talk about, liking you or having a crush on you or being attracted to you or wanting to start some kind of relationship with you. It doesn't always have to be romantic. It can also be friendship. I feel like people also talk about your independence and how you've recently started setting boundaries as well. I feel like people also talk about how you're very, very wise, how you give really good advice, and somehow it just makes people see things clearly in a way they've never seen before. And your advice may be straightforward and simple and clear, and not like over explaining it, but somehow it just makes sense to them, because usually our intuition will come through in a short answer, and sometimes people that don't understand it will be like, but it's not that simple. Yet sometimes humans overcomplicate things by overthinking. So I feel like you give advice that is really simple yet clear, and people will often talk about that, how you are really wise, intelligent, and you give really great advice to your friends and things like that. I'm also seeing a vibe here where people talk about how they love your uniqueness. They love how you are just able to be your authentic self in the world and be your unique and original. I feel like you have a lot of original ideas and you're very different and unique in a good way where people like that about you. So that's something I see. What do people say about my pile threes after seeing them? We have the Five of Pentacles. What do people say about my pile threes after seeing them? We have the Five of Cups. And we have the Empress. With the Empress, I feel people often talk about how beautiful and attractive you are, and just how you have this energy of standing out, originality, creativity in the way you express yourself, this vibrant, fun personality, how you have been growing. And also, I feel you have this Venusian energy to you where you attract people in effortlessly, or you attract your manifestations in effortlessly. There's something about you becoming more of a powerful manifester. And that's something I see. It's maybe people don't talk about that, but people talk about how you've started recently getting the things you wanted. Um, Maybe after healing some disappointments, healing a lack mindset, you've become more abundant, for example. That's an example I can use. So that's the energy I see here. And we have the Three of Cups. So a lot of people talk about how they love celebrating with you, how they love celebrating your achievements and you just moving forward in your life, because we have the Chariot card. I feel like people often talk about how you've changed for the better, how you've grown as a person. And these are people that know you, because we see 3 3 here, which is a number of growth and expansion. So people often talk about how you've been changing and shifting your energy to become a better person, to become a better friend, a better lover, um, to have more of an abundant mindset, to believe that the world is your oyster, where you can create anything, where you can change anything, transform any situation. And that's the feeling I get here about like what people say. With the Chariot, perhaps some of you travel and people talk about you traveling a lot, or maybe you leveling up or growing in your life. I feel like a lot of you have leveled up in your finances and your careers, and you've started getting the manifestations you've been wanting in your life, maybe after a while of experiencing some disappointments in your finances with the Five of Cups. Five of Pentacles. So often people talk about that and celebrate your wins with Three of Cups. And talk about you in a very inspired way. People also often talk about how I'm hearing you shine as a person, you shine as a soul, how humble yet beautiful you are. I feel like you also change people's lives around you. That's something I see too, and how people often just feel you're very fun to be around. You're very loving to be around, and they just want more of that. I really feel people are talking right now, especially right now, about your glow up, about the level up you've been having in your life, the celebrations you've been having recently. And if this hasn't yet come, this is coming very soon. And people are going to be talking about it. So this is what I see in your reading, my pile number 3s. I really hope that this reading resonated. If it did, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in my next reading. Bye!